For 40 years, I was the quiet ingredient in my son Marcus's life. I was the one who folded his laundry into perfect squares, the one who paid his emergency car repairs with my meager sewing money, and the one who kept the family home spotless while he climbed the corporate ladder. Marcus lived in the west wing of our ancestral home. He called it his house, though my name was the only one on the deed. He treated me like a live-in housekeeper who happened to share his DNA. "Mother," he said one Friday morning, adjusting his silk tie. "I'm taking the partners to the cabin in Aspen for 10 days. I've taken the liberty of borrowing the emergency cash you keep in the flour tin. You don't go anywhere anyway, and I need to make a statement with the catering." "Marcus," I whispered, my heart sinking. "That was for my heart medication and the winter heating bill." "Oh, stop being dramatic," he laughed, grabbing his leather suitcase. "It's barely a few thousand. Besides, there's a massive bag of rice in the pantry. It's a superfood, Mother. Very trendy. Think of it as a spring reset for your health. I'll bring you back a souvenir." He left without a backward glance. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful, it was heavy with the weight of 40 years of yes. The inventory of a life. I went to the pantry. The rice bag was there, 10 pounds of bland, dry grains. It was Marcus's way of saying I was a secondary character in my own life. I looked at the walls. They were covered in original oil paintings my husband had collected. I looked at the garage, where Marcus kept his hobby car, a vintage 1967 Mustang that I had spent my savings to help him restore. I felt a spark. It wasn't the hot flame of a temper tantrum, it was the cool, steady glow of a light bulb finally turning on. I didn't call the doctor to cancel my meds. I called Silas Thorne, the city's most prestigious estate liquidator. The great clearance. Silas arrived that afternoon. He looked at the Mustang, the paintings, and the hand-carved mahogany dining set. "This is a magnificent collection, Mrs. Gable," Silas said, his eyes wide. "Are you sure you want to part with all of it?" "I'm not parting with it, Silas," I said, handing him the keys to the Mustang. "I'm converting dust collectors into experiences. I want it all gone by Wednesday. Cash only. And I want the house listed for sale immediately." By Tuesday, the house was an echo chamber. The Mustang was gone, sold to a private collector for a sum that made my heart medication look like pocket change. The paintings were headed to a gallery in New York. With the proceeds, I didn't just buy food. I bought a ticket. The return. 10 days later, Marcus returned. He was tan, smelling of expensive cigars, and complaining about the tacky service in Aspen. He expected to find me in the kitchen, perhaps a little thinner, waiting to hear about his grand adventures. He unlocked the front door and stepped into the foyer. He stopped. The house was empty. The rugs were gone. The chandeliers had been replaced by basic bulbs. The walls were bare. The silence was absolute. Panic seized him as he ran to the garage. The Mustang was gone. He ran to the pantry, his stomach growling because he hadn't eaten on the drive back. He yanked the pantry door open, expecting to find me hiding there or perhaps just his superfood, rice. Instead, he screamed. Inside the empty pantry, sitting on a single, solitary stool, was the 10-pound bag of rice. It had been sliced open. Scattered across the floor like a mocking white carpet were the grains he told me to live on. And right in the center of the rice sat a small, elegant jewelry box. Marcus grabbed it, his hands shaking, hoping it was some heirloom I'd left behind. He opened it. Inside was a single, laminated receipt for a one-way, first-class ticket to the Amalfi Coast, dated 3 days ago. Tucked behind the receipt was a small, handwritten note. "The reset worked wonders, Marcus. I found I had a sudden allergy to rice, and to being a ghost in my own home. I've sold the house. The new owners arrive on Monday. I suggest you use your statement catering skills to find a hotel. Enjoy the rice. It's a superfood, after all." As Marcus stood in the hollowed-out shell of his former life, the only sound was the wind whistling through the empty rooms and the soft crunch of rice grains under his expensive Italian loafers.